Arjuna said, O Mahabaho, O Rishikesha, O Keshini Sudana, I want to know the truth about sannyasa and tyaga severally. Keshini Sudana, another name of Lord Krishna, meaning the slayer of the demon Keshi. Tyaga, relinquishment or sacrifice. Lord Krishna said, the sages consider sannyasa as renunciation of actions done with a desire for its reward, and the wise consider tyaga as sacrificing the fruits of all actions. Some wise men say that all actions should be sacrificed because they are flawed, while some others say that actions like yajna, charity, and austerity must not be sacrificed. O Bharata-sattama, first you listen to my final truth about tyaga, because, O Purushvyaghra, there are three types of tyaga. Bharata-sattama, another name of Arjuna, meaning the best among the descendants of King Bharata. Purushvyaghra, another name of Arjuna, meaning the one like a tiger among men. The acts of yajna, charity, and austerity should not be given up. One should definitely do them, because these three acts of yajna, charity, and austerity are the ones that purify the wise. O Partha, performing the acts of yajna, charity, and austerity, along with other actions without getting attached to their fruits, is one's duty. This is certainly my final opinion. It is not advisable to give up one's obligatory duties. Abandoning them out of delusion is considered tamasic. The one who abandons his karma out of fear of physical pain and considering it as sorrow, he doesn't attain the fruits of his sacrifice, even after performing rajasic tyaga. O Arjuna, performing actions while thinking that performing the obligatory actions is one's duty without getting attached to the action and its fruits, this is what is considered as sattvic tyaga. The one who neither hates wrong deeds nor gets attached to righteous deeds, that person, full of sattva, is doubt-free, wise, and tyagi. Tyagi, the one who sacrifices. Since it is not possible for an embodied being to give up all activities completely, thus it is said that the one who abandons the fruits of his actions, he is a tyagi in reality. The ones who don't give up the fruits of their actions accrue these three types of fruits after death: desirable, undesirable, or mixed, which are never accrued by the ones who have given up the fruits of their actions. O Mahabaho, learn from me in detail about the 5 reasons as described in Sankhya for the accomplishment of all actions. The seat of action, body, the doer, various senses, different kinds of endeavors, and the Supreme Self are the 5 different causes of all actions, whether right or wrong. Whatever actions are performed by the body, speech, and mind, they are all because of these 5 reasons. The one with an impure mind, who thinks that his self is the doer, such an ignorant person with perverted intelligence doesn't know the reality. The one who is not egoistic and whose intelligence is not affected by good or bad, even after killing all beings. He doesn't kill them in reality and is not bound by any sin. Knowledge, Gye, and the knower are the 3 influences of action, and Karan, karma, and the doer are the 3 bases of action. As described in the Sankhya philosophy, there are 3 kinds of knowledge, karma and the doer, according to the gunas. Listen to the truth about them also from me. The knowledge through which one indestructible Supreme Soul can be seen in all beings, know that knowledge to be sattvic. The knowledge in which one sees various entities of different kinds in all beings as different from one another, know that knowledge to be rajasic. The knowledge in which one gets attached to one kind of work as if it is the whole, which is without any reason, and which is untrue and insignificant, that knowledge is called tamasic. The actions that are done according to the Vedic rituals, without any feeling of doership, attachment, or aversion by those who seek no return, that action is called sattvic. But the actions done with great efforts by the ones who seek something in return, or by those filled with arrogance, such actions are called rajasic. The actions undertaken in delusion with considering its consequences, loss, injury, and one's own ability, such actions are called tamasic. The doer, who is free from attachment and ego, full of patience and enthusiasm, and unaffected by success or failure, he is known as sattvic. The doer, who is full of attachment, desirous of the fruits of action, greedy, violent, impure, and easily affected by joy and sorrow, he is known as rajasic. The doer, who is unaware of his duties, rude, egoistic, dishonest, inclined to rob others of their livelihood, lazy, sorrowful, and procrastinating, he is known as tamasic. O Dhananjaya, now listen to me as I describe in detail the 3 types of intellect and determination according to the gunas. O Partha, the intellect that knows about action and renunciation, right and wrong action, fear and fearlessness, and bondage and liberation, that intellect is sattvic. O Partha, the intellect through which a person doesn't know dharma and adharma, and right action and wrong action, that intellect is called rajasic. O Partha, the intellect that is surrounded by tamas considers adharma as dharma and sees all things in a perverted manner. That intellect is known as tamasic. O Partha, the unwavering perseverance developed through which a man regulates the functions of the mind, prana, and the senses with the help of yoga, that perseverance is called sattvic. O Arjuna, the perseverance through which a person attached to the fruits regulates dharma, worldly possessions and desires, O Partha, that perseverance is called rajasic. O Partha, the perseverance through which a foolish person doesn't sacrifice sleep, fear, grief, despondency, and excessive ego, that perseverance is called tamasic. O Bharatarshabha, now you listen from me about the 3 types of happiness. The happiness through which a person finds enjoyment in singing praises, meditation, and service, and through which his sorrows come to an end. The happiness which is like poison in the beginning, but becomes like an elixir of life in the end. That happiness originating from a spiritual state of mind is called sattvic. The happiness that is obtained coincidentally along with the sensory objects, it first appears like the elixir of life, but becomes like poison in the end. Such happiness is called rajasic. The happiness that deludes one's self in the beginning and at the end, that happiness originating from sleep, laziness, and miscomprehension is called tamasic. There is nothing on this earth, in the heaven, among the devas, or anywhere else that is free of these 3 gunas of Prakriti. O Parantapa, the karmas of the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras have been distinguished according to the gunas born out of their own nature. Kshatriyas, the warrior class; Vaishyas, the merchant class; Shudras, the labor class. controlling the mind and the senses, austerity, being pure from inside and outside, forgiving others for their wrong deeds, keeping the body, mind, and speech upright, having knowledge about the Vedas and Shastras, practicing the Vedic rituals, and having faith in God. All these are the natural duties of Brahmanas.